You ever have one of those moments where you realize the world is absolutely packed with creatures so tiny, they make ants look like linebackers? Today we're diving headfirst into the microscopic, the miniature, and the straight-up ridiculous. These are the smallest animals you've never heard of, and trust me, by the end of this video, you're gonna question the very definition of animal. Prepare your eyeballs. Let's kick things off with a creature that basically lives life on hard mode. Meet the fairy fly. Sounds adorable, right? Like something that should star in a Disney short. Nope. It is a wasp. A wasp so small that if it landed on your arm, you wouldn't just fail to notice it. You'd need a microscope to even confirm it happened. These guys measure about 0.2 millimeters long. That is smaller than the thickness of a credit card. They're so tiny, their wings have little fringes instead of feathers or membranes, like they're wearing delicate angel shawls that somehow let them fly. And fun fact, fairy flies don't actually land on leaves. They walk across individual grains of pollen like they're boulders. Imagine walking across a beach and every grain of sand is the size of a car. That's their whole lifestyle. Next up, the world's smallest mammal, the bumblebee bat. This little fluff gremlin weighs 2 grams. That's basically the weight of a paperclip. If you tried to pet one, you'd feel like you were touching a warm, flying almond with opinions. Bumblebee bats live in Thailand and Myanmar, and their entire existence is basically wake up, fly out, eat insects smaller than themselves, go home, mind their business. If humans were proportionally as small as a bumblebee bat, our entire house would be the size of a teaspoon, and our commute to work would be the length of your thumb. Now let's talk about a fish. So unbelievably tiny, it looks like the ghost of a fish you haven't even caught yet. The Pedocipris fish is only 7 to 10 millimeters long, and just to flex, their bodies are mostly transparent. You can literally see their organs doing their thing. They live in acidic swamps in Southeast Asia, and scientists believe they evolved to handle water so harsh it'd melt most other creatures' eyebrows off. Somehow these things manage to swim, eat, reproduce, all while being roughly the size of the printed date on your credit card. Alright, now I'm cheating slightly. The pygmy possum is not microscopic, but it is absolutely unbelievable in terms of cuteness to size ratio. This tiny mammal is just 2 to 3 inches long, yet somehow looks like someone shrunk a full-size possum in the wash. Big eyes, tiny hands, and a vibe that says, I steal berries and feel zero guilt. These guys can hibernate for weeks at a time. Imagine curling up into a marshmallow and tapping out of life for a month. Elite behavior. If you've ever looked at a mouse and thought, sure, but could someone make it more hyperactive? Then behold, the Etruscan shrew. This thing is the world's smallest land mammal by weight, coming in at just 1.5 to 2 grams. But here's the wild part. Its metabolism is so fast that it has to eat nearly twice its own body weight every single day. If humans did that, we'd be knocking down 400 pancakes before lunch. These shrews live life at double speed. Their hearts can beat over 1,500 times per minute, which is basically hummingbird cardio. They exist in a constant state of, I have to eat or I will perish, which, honestly, mood. Meet Pedophrine amoensis, the world's smallest known vertebrate. Yes, smaller than the tiny fish earlier. This frog is 7 millimeters long. 7. That's like someone printed a frog emoji IRL. These frogs live in Papua New Guinea, and their calls are so high-pitched that researchers originally thought they were hearing insects. Imagine being so small that your entire existence gets mistaken for a bug malfunction. They hop around the forest floor like living punctuation marks, and because they're so tiny, they dry out extremely easily. They basically have to vibe in the moist leaf litter 24/7 just to survive. And then we've got the absolute legends. Tardigrades. Tardigrades are about 0.5 millimeters long, shaped like gummy bears that got lost in a wrinkled dimension. But don't let their squishy little bodies fool you. These things might be the toughest animals on Earth. They can survive being boiled, frozen, blasted with radiation, thrown into space, and probably ghosted by someone they loved. When things get rough, they dehydrate themselves into a tiny little dust crumb called a tun, and then rehydrate decades later like instant noodles. If Earth ever ends, tardigrades are going to shrug, stretch, and continue vibing on whatever planet is next. Let me introduce you to a jellyfish so small it makes regular jellies look like kaiju monsters. The Leptomedusae babies. Some are just 1 millimeter across. You'd never see these things while swimming, but they're there, floating around as delicate, tiny UFOs made entirely of vibes and stinging cells. They're so small that even their tentacles look like soft electrical static. Imagine drifting peacefully through the ocean at the size of a grain of salt and still having the audacity to sting things. Iconic. So what's the point of all this tiny life madness? Simple. The world is absolutely crammed with life forms doing their best out here, even if they're too small for us to notice. Every leaf, every puddle, every grain of sand probably has a full cast of characters having drama, chasing food, falling in love, fighting rivals, and just trying to make it through the day. And that's kind of nice, right? We're all part of the same planet-sized apartment complex. And some of our neighbors are microscopic squatters who could fit 10 of themselves on the head of a pin. If you want more videos exploring the tiniest, weirdest, cutest, or most slept-on creatures on Earth, smash the like button, subscribe, and drop a comment telling me which of these tiny legends surprised you the most. Stay curious, stay tiny, or, don't. But appreciate the ones who are.